Good morning and welcome to Thanks for joining us. You're tuned in to our daily coverage of coronavirus on this Tuesday, May 26th. Live from Seoul, I'm Shin Se-min. In moments' time, we will be cutting over to a live briefing site for the Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasure Headquarters for the latest official tally on the coronavirus situation here in South Korea. And with that, we will also have live interpretation of the officials' remarks in English. In the past 2 days, the number of newly infected COVID-19 cases had been in the teens, with the nation adding just 19 new cases just yesterday. Looks like we're getting live feed from the site. Let's listen in.
We also have sign language translation available. First of all, here is Mr. Son Young-lee with a briefing on the COVID-19 response. Let us now begin our regular briefing for May 26th, Tuesday. As of today midnight, we have 19 new cases and we have 16 local infections and 3 are imported cases. And as of today midnight, the total number of confirmed cases now stands at 11,225. And among them, 10,275 have been discharged following full recovery, while 681 people are in quarantine undergoing treatment. And so far, a total of more than 839,000 diagnostic testing have been carried out so far. And the death toll now stands at 269, with 2 more fatalities as of yesterday. I extend my deepest condolences to the deceased and the bereaved families. This morning, the KCC held a meeting presided over by Health Minister Bang Neung-hoo, and we discussed measures that require the cooperative efforts of the municipal governments. And he said that a day before we opened the schools for many grade students in grade years, diverse grade years, he said that we need to keep our personal hygiene measures, including wearing of face masks and washing of our hands. And today marks the 14th day commemorating the social caregivers, and he also mentioned that their efforts and dedications have enabled us to combat any of the vacuum in terms of social caregiving. And as of today midnight, there are a total of 247 people in relation to the Itaewon Club case, and so far over 83,000 cases have been tested for the virus. And right now we don't have the exponential increase in the number of infections. However, we continue to see increase of the confirmed cases steadily, and we note that 30 of the confirmed cases are asymptomatic, and we also witness continued silent spreaders. And once again, we confirm that only with the quarantine authorities' efforts, identifying all of the patients is insufficient. And we highlight the importance of diagnosing testings for massive testings is very important as well. And also, we conducted cluster infections of testings for 20 facilities, including call centers and other crowded facilities. However, at the PC rooms and singing rooms, which are multi-use facilities that have led to a number of infections, we are having difficulties in diagnosing the visitors and the patients to these places. And please be aware of the list of these multi-use facilities that are disclosed by the quarantine authorities. And please note that you have to get tested if you have visited these facilities. And also, 9 of the cases that were reported at the Gyeongbuk province at a school, all of them were asymptomatic, meaning that all of the members of the public need to be vigilant going forward. The government is also continuing our close cooperation with the local governments. And yesterday, a day alone, we carried out about 20,000 sites of inspection, and we also conducted and issued an administrative order of amounting to 169. And we also carried out inspection for the study rooms and private academies, and we conducted the inspections for about 103 facilities. And as for the clubs and bars, we also did an inspection and crackdown on more than 8,000 of these facilities nationwide together with the police. And we also carried out a crackdown on these facilities in 15 districts and provinces where the bans on gatherings have been issued in place. And we witnessed that 56 of these facilities have breached such measures, and they lacked in terms of having a correct and strict visitor log and wearing of face masks and disinfection. So we ask the members of the industry and the facilities to continue to comply with the quarantine measures. And as of 5 p.m. yesterday, we have 30,000 people who are on self-quarantine, and a majority of them were the entrants from foreign countries. And yesterday, we had 2 people who were breaching their self-quarantine protocols. And as for the breaches of self-quarantine protocols, there are 71 people so far, and right now, 17 people are wearing the wristbands as a result. So we ask you to comply with the government protocol if you are placed on mandatory self-quarantine. Moreover, the South Korean government is continuing to carry out international cooperation centering around the KCDC, the health service, and our headquarters. We are currently carrying out diverse webinars and seminars via the video conference, and so far we have conducted over 50 of such kinds. And tomorrow we also have in place a webinar scheduled with the countries of the Latin and Central American countries. And going forward, the South Korean government will expose and will share our experience and know-how with the international community and strengthen our cooperative scheme. And tomorrow we will be opening schools for high school grade 2, middle school grade 3, elementary school grades 1 and 2, and kindergarten students. I believe they will be very delighted to meet each other at schools after a long break. And it will be very easy for them to not abide by the social distancing rules. And in order to guarantee their routine daily lives within these school grounds, this calls for the cooperation from all members of the community. Parents and the teachers also need to be responsible quarantine agents, and please help our students out going forward. And until the virus is contained, we need to ask the students to refrain from going to PC rooms and other multi-use facilities after school. And the quarantine authorities will continue to monitor the situation to secure a safe and healthy environment for our students. And we will make sure that our students will be making memorable memories at schools. Thank you very much.
Now there you have it. Just to recap some of the details we just heard, we heard from officials that with the new wave of cluster being spotted from nightlife entertainment establishments, the so-called Itaewon area, officials have urged the public once again to be more vigilant in getting tested if deemed necessary. And with the new school starting again tomorrow, he also called on the nation to maintain strict and safe social distancing guidelines so all the students can report to school and enjoy their time in school with their with fellow students as well. Now that does it for us at this hour. Our next news lineup coming up at noon Korea time. That'll be less than 1 hour from now, so do join us again then. Thanks for watching and goodbye.